Good morning and Happy New Year. This is our first hot topic of 2021, and we're so excited that you're able to be here. Today's topic is actually going to be about where did it go? Spiritual encouragement during COVID-19. It's going to be a great session. We have a very special guest today. Mark Robinson is a chaplain with Traditions Hospice, and he's going to gives us just some encouragement and some helpful information in just 1 minute. Before we get started, I just want to give you a quick update on Care Partners. Because of the coronavirus, our traditional in-person programming is still suspended. We have some updates on our website, and we would love for you to check all of that out. We have a ton of online resources. We're still updating our website every week with new resources and information to hopefully help you during this time. So you can always give us a call at 713-682-5995 or visit our website at carepartnerstexas.org. The other thing is that we have our Common Ground support group twice a week currently, and we're back to gathering at your place on Zoom. So we'd love for you to find some more about that, or if you have any questions, again, just give us a call. And so with that, we'll go ahead and get into the topic today. And I'll introduce our speaker. Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
Good morning, Daryan. I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. So I guess if you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what we're going to be talking about today.
Yes, my name is Mark Robinson. I am one of many chaplains at Traditions Healthcare. I just love talking about spirituality. I just love talking and encouraging people. So I'll do my best as possible just to share a few tidbits of encouragement during this COVID-19 season. How do we encourage ourselves during COVID-19? I know it's very difficult. I was so happy that I could remove this. I don't have to have a mask on. I'm socially distanced. I'm at home. I'm away from people. But just to see your smiling faces and just to be able to interact a little bit with you all is encouraging enough. We're meant to be with one another. And being a little bit separated and isolated is very difficult. So how do we encourage ourselves, or how do we have encouragement during COVID-19? Well, one of the ways we can encourage ourselves is, I'm going to present this in 3 different segments. The joy of writing would be the first segment. The joy of writing. I was in the Air Force 4 years, and I was also stationed in Japan a year while I was in the Air Force. And something that encouraged me all the time was to receive a letter from my mother, or just to receive a letter, period. That joy that I received from receiving that letter and just thinking about her and thinking about the setting. What was she doing when she put pen to paper? How is she feeling? And then just incredibly blessed I felt by receiving that letter. Also, writing her back gave me a tremendous sense of joy. Just responding to her letter, just answering some of her questions, just providing a little bit about myself and what I was going through while I was, 1,500 miles away from her or so. And I think we've gotten away from that simple practice of writing one another. I know we have text messages and email and little bullet things that we could send out to one another. And that's a great way of communicating. But just having that joy from writing someone. In the scriptures, I'm a chaplain, so I'll add a little bit of spirituality in there. In the scriptures, we often see, through the writings of Paul, his letter to encourage people, a certain community, a certain church, a certain area, and receiving word back from them. He was also encouraged. So I think just one of the ways we can just be encouraged is by writing, going back to the old school tradition of writing someone, writing a friend, writing a family member, even writing your thoughts, journaling, just writing your thoughts down. How do you feel? What's difficult right now? What's on your mind? What's weighing you down right now? Just expressing how you feel through writing will give you a tremendous sense of joy. The other thing, cards. On the right, I received a card the other day from a patient of mine that can't get out and about due to his health and also due to the virus. So he's limited himself to being homebound. He went online and just he was going to buy a card and send it to me, but he actually copied and paste a few different lines from different cards that he saw, and he sent me sort of a homemade card via email to me, and it just was just a tremendous blessing to me. And I responded back to him, and he called me and said, "Oh my gosh, what you said back to me, I needed that at that moment." So I think one of the ways that we can just be encouraged and encourage one another is out of the joy of writing. The other way of spiritually encouragement during COVID-19 is the joy of giving. The joy of giving. I don't know the circumstance that you may find yourself in, but if you can somehow, some way give, you will receive tremendous amount of joy. It will encourage you spiritually on a supernatural way. It's I was in a gas station, and a gentleman was paying for his gas, and he was reaching deep into his pocket, and I was approximately 3 or 4 people behind. And the gentleman was behind him told the cashier, "Let me pay for his gas." I think the gentleman was only getting like $15 worth of gas. He said, "Let me pay for his gas." This guy turned around with his mask on. You could almost see his smile and his tears in his eyes. And he just said, "Thank you so much. I mean, you just don't know what you did." And it was right before Christmas. So it was a whole spirit of giving and helping one another out and being peaceful. And that gentleman was so encouraged that this guy paid for his gas. The guy that paid for the gas didn't expect it. He said, "Well, thank you. I mean, it's just, I saw you reaching in your pocket. He just paid for his gas. He didn't think anything of it." I felt encouraged. The cashier said, "Can you believe what just happened?" And I thought to myself, yeah, one act of giving encouraged 4 different people just by one act of giving. I think if you can find yourself giving something, if you are able to get out and about, just pay for someone's groceries in line, or just pay for their gas, or something small. Those who can, who are very technologically savvy, like Daryan there, if you could send an e-gift, electronic gift, sometimes we can even send someone, $10 online. Just the act of giving will bring you tremendous, tremendous joy. Jesus said something like this. He said, "Do unto others as you would want them to do for you." It's out of giving. Give to others, and you will be spiritually encouraged. Another way to encourage oneself would be the joy of reading, or the joy of listening, the joy of reading. If you can find something encouraging to read, I read my Bible daily. I try to find that encouragement and instruction through the Word of God. But there are a lot of books, a lot of things that we can read, poems and daily activities and things that we can read to just encourage ourselves. Nowadays, there are even phones that will read a Bible or read a book to you, and you just sit there and listen to the words as they minister to you, encourage you. There's music, the joy of listening to music. I am not a huge country and Western fan, but I love the lyrics of the old school country and Western songs. Just some of the lyrics are so beautiful. And it could be something simple like a man and his horse, and his love for his horse, but it just makes you feel good, and it just encourages you as you listen to various music. Some of the old traditional hymns that a lot of churches have, used to sing out of hymn books and things of that nature. just listening to those words and listening to the lyrics and the music um, will encourage you tremendously. Also, I'm not the best singer, but I find myself humming or just kind of uh, singing to myself. And the next thing I know, I'm happy. I find a sense of joy, a sense of peace, a sense of encouragement as I'm just kind of singing to myself. As a caregiver, I know that you are under tremendous stress and tremendous isolation, and it's difficult. I believe that some of these things I've shared, the joy of writing, someone will help you, or the joy of giving to someone somehow that may be in need, or maybe you just want to, you have a library at home, you just want to give a book out to someone and leave it on your front porch and tell someone to come by and get it. Just the joy of giving will bless you tremendously. Or even the joy of reading a book or listening to a book being read to you, the joy of listening to songs and music. Sometimes some of the different speakers and ministers and um, people that speak for a living for companies and different things. Sometimes you can just listen to their podcasts or listening to their sermons online or just listening to something that's uplifting and positive will bless you tremendously. The last thing I will share would be the joy of truth. The joy of truth. Truth is, God promised He'll never leave you. He loves you. The truth is that as you are caring for someone, you are a blessing to that person, even if they don't say thank you or you don't get the credit that you need. There's someone higher up that's watching you and acknowledging what you're doing and the tremendous sacrifice that you're making. Truth. Surround yourself with truth. Truth is that you're a special person. And doing what you're doing is a gift unlike anything else. It's an act of love. The joy of truth. Truth. This is year 2021. I keep still say 2020. This is year 2021. And we have made it. We've made it through Hurricane Rita and Ike. We've made it through 2020. We've made it through a lot of individual struggles, and collectively, we've made it through a lot of difficulty. And the truth is, we've made it. So whatever you're facing right now, the joy of truth means that you will continue to make it. And God will never leave you. He promised He'll never abandon you. He is always there by your side. So those are just a few ideas I had in mind as I was thinking of the topic of how to encourage this panel, this group of people. And again, just a simple joy of writing, joy of giving, joy of reading or listening to music and things, various things, and then the joy of truth. That's all I have. Do we have any questions?
Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to touch a little bit on pretty much all the things you talked about. I thought all of them were some really great tips and advice. If anyone at home does have any questions or comments, we would love to hear from you. So feel free to type those in. I think one of the things that all of these joys have in common is trying to just find those small connections wherever you can. It's really finding those small things. And I think at Care Partners, we've been doing a lot of letter writing to our caregivers and our families. And so I think that's sometimes an often forgotten art. It really can change around someone's whole day. We hear how much it means to people all the time. And so we love being able to do that during this time when we're all kind of separated. And then I've always loved reading. Reading's always been something. And I always like to think of it as like, it's not only can it be encouragement from what you're reading, but it can be a little break from your life as well. Like for me, it's like TV in my head, and it really gets me focused on other things than what's going on in life. So I just wanted to add that too.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Like you
Um,
said, forgotten art, just some of the simple things that we just kind of overlook sometimes that can bring us tremendous joy and encouragement.
exactly. And I think that's really what we need to do. Try to focus on during this time is finding those really small pieces and trying to use those to get us through the day.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, we really, really appreciate you being here and sharing those tips and advice with us. And for everyone at home, thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And like I said, we're continuing to update all of our resources, and we're excited to bring you more programs and support in 2021. So I think with that, we'll end this one today, but we'll be back with some more. So thank you guys so much. And thank you again, Mark.
Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.